You've set up your Boldin plan, your numbers are in, your assumptions are set, and now you're sitting there thinking, okay, I did the work. So what am I actually supposed to do with this now? Am I getting the most out of the platform? Am I missing something? A Boldin user recently asked this in our subreddit, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Pappis, CFP professional and head of support at Boldin. And this user put it really clearly. They said, I'm wanting to get a bit more actively involved with using Boldin on a regular basis, but I'm honestly not sure how or what I would do. It seems like once you set it up and enter all your data, there's nothing left to do except maybe update account values periodically. What they were really asking is something I hear often. How are people actually using the Boldin tool over time? And to answer that properly, we need to talk about how Boldin fits into real life and what ongoing value actually looks like. Boldin supports a lot of different usage styles, and all of them can work well. You might be someone who likes opening Boldin frequently. Maybe you enjoy exploring how different parts of your plan interact, seeing how small changes ripple through your projections, or just staying close to your numbers. If you like opening Boldin often, even daily, that is fantastic. You might also be someone who uses Boldin more periodically. You check in when something changes, when you want reassurance, or when a new idea pops into your head. And for most people, it's not one or the other. You may very well move between those patterns over time. What matters most is that whenever you log into your Boldin plan, you are using it with intention. Boldin is designed to help you explore decisions, test ideas before committing to them, and understand the trade-offs that shape your long-term financial life. And when I look at how people actually get value from Boldin over time, a few clear patterns show up again and again. Let me walk you through the most common ones. You will probably recognize yourself in at least one. The first pattern usually shows up around a big decision. This is where Boldin often does its heaviest lifting. You tend to spend more time in the planner when you are facing a meaningful decision and want clarity before moving forward. Things like, can I retire earlier than planned? What happens if I work one more year? What if my spouse retires 3 years earlier than expected? If we increase our savings by 2% each year until retirement, how does that change our timeline? How does moving from California to Illinois affect our long-term projections? When should I claim Social Security? Do Roth conversions actually improve my outcome? And if so, when should we start doing them? One subscriber from our Reddit community summed this up perfectly. They said, I used it to make a decision to retire 2 years earlier than I had originally planned. That's a huge decision. And it's exactly the kind of moment where a planning tool like this can change the direction of your entire retirement. That same user went on to share that they continue to use Boldin to explore other big decisions too, like Social Security timing, buying a second home, and Roth conversion opportunities. And honestly, this is one of my favorite parts of watching people use Boldin. You can almost feel the moment when a decision stops feeling heavy and starts feeling clear. During this phase, you might build scenarios, compare different paths side by side, and explore strategies more deeply. For a lot of people, one well-timed decision here ends up shaping their entire retirement. And once that decision is made, usage doesn't stop. It just changes going forward. After a big decision, many people settle into a steadier rhythm. This is what I think of as the check-in phase. For some, that might look like opening Boldin daily to see how things are tracking. For others, it may be monthly or quarterly. Updating account balances, adjusting an expense, increasing your contribution rate, running a quick what-if scenario just to stay oriented. This kind of use is less about reworking your entire plan and more about awareness and confidence. You are checking the map. You are making sure your plan still reflects reality. You're reminding yourself how all the pieces fit together. One Boldin user in the subreddit described it this way: I go into Boldin once a month on average. I update all my balances and check to make sure I'm still on track. I also play around with Roth conversions and scenarios, and every now and then I'll update some budget items. And I'm always interested in any new features. In the end, I'm really just going in there to do a sanity check. Like this user, you may just want to know your plans still make sense. And this is where many people start getting value beyond just their projections. You might attend one of the daily live classes to better understand a topic you haven't explored yet. You might search the Help Center with hundreds of articles and videos to go a level deeper on how something works in the tool. You might use the AI chat to ask a quick modeling question or sense check an assumption. Even small, regular check ins can help you stay connected to your plan over time. Life is always changing, and these moments give you a chance to make sure your plan is still keeping up. There's another pattern we see all the time, and it makes a lot of sense once you think about how many of us make decisions. A lot of our users use Boldin in focused bursts. You might spend a few days modeling scenarios, comparing planning opportunities, and really digging into your plan. You make a decision, feel good about where things stand, and then step away. One user described it perfectly, saying they do several bursts of considerable activity over a few days each year to run scenarios to account for changes. That doesn't mean someone is disengaged. It usually means their plan feels solid. Those bursts often happen when something changes. That might be a tax update, a market shift, a new income source, or simply learning something new that makes you want to revisit an assumption. Planning isn't constant, but it is ongoing, and Bolden fits into that kind of real life rhythm. Beyond scenarios and projections, there are also a few ways you can stay connected to your plan without feeling like you need to sit down and do planning. For some, that looks like opting into the beta program. It's a way to explore new features early and see how they may fit into your plan as they're being developed. Others use our daily classes, office hours, and past recordings as a way to learn, not necessarily to take action right away. You might attend a live session or watch something on demand just to better understand a topic, so the next time a decision comes up, you're prepared. When questions pop up, the Help Center and AI chat are often the fastest ways to get clarity, not because something is necessarily wrong, but because you want to sanity check an assumption or understand how a specific part of your plan works. You may also decide you want some hands on guidance from time to time, especially around bigger decisions. A one on one coaching session can be helpful as a second set of eyes. It's less about being told what to do and more about confirming that your plan is set up the way you intend. Think of this as support you can tap into whenever it makes sense for where you are in your financial journey. It also helps to zoom out for a moment and look at where Bolden fits alongside everything else you might be using. Many of you already use other tools or resources, budgeting software for day-to-day spending, maybe spreadsheets you've built over the years, or even a financial advisor you check in with from time to time. Where Bolden really shines is bringing all of that together into one long-term view. It helps you understand how today's decisions show up later, how changes to spending, saving, taxes, or timing can shape your financial life years or even decades down the road. And if you work with a financial advisor, Bolden often makes those conversations better and more fulfilling. You can explore scenarios on your own first, pressure test ideas, and then come into those discussions with clearer questions and more confidence. In that way, Bolden becomes the connective tissue between everything else you're doing. It helps you make sense of short-term actions in the context of long-term goals. So if you're wondering whether you're using Bolden enough, here's the thing to remember. There isn't one right cadence. Retirement planning isn't a one and done exercise. The real value shows up when you come back to it as life changes. Boldin delivers the most value when you use it to explore decisions, learn how different pieces of your plan interact, and keep your plan aligned as your life evolves. Sometimes that means running scenarios. Sometimes it means checking in this month to update your balances or assumptions. Sometimes it means attending a class, asking a question, or trying a new feature. All of those moments add up over time. If Bolden helps you make even one better decision, avoid one costly mistake, or feel more confident spending and enjoying the life you've worked hard to build, then it's doing exactly what it's meant to do. And now I'm curious, how are you using the Bolden Planner to get value over time? Are you using it one of the ways we talked about today, or in a completely different way? I'd love to hear what's been most helpful for you, so feel free to share in the comments. Thanks for spending some time with me today. If this video was helpful, subscribe for more guidance on planning your future with confidence, and I'll see you here again soon. Bye for now.